The blameless person, the perfect child. Paul's goal, as he was doing missions through preaching the word, was to raise each person who was receiving his advice and teaching to become a blameless person. But though this goal of being a blameless person is a key objective emphasized by the whole Bible, the church of today has completely forgotten this issue. Noah was a righteous man and, in his day, walked with God as a blameless person. Abraham received from God the commandment, "Walk before me faithfully and be blameless." Moses also received a similar order, "You must be blameless before the Lord your God." The truth is that, though there is no book that directly confronts us with the reality of total depravity as much as the Bible does, there is also no book that calls to attention the trait of blamelessness like the Bible. But the blameless person whom the Bible mentions does not refer to a super believer who can prove through their actions that God's decision to pay the ultimate price and redeem them was the correct decision, or demonstrate through their achievements that God choosing and using them was a prudent choice. This term also does not refer to an impersonal perfectionist who technically does not say anything wrong, but in all things quibbles over rules and principles by referring to biblical laws. If the blameless person referred to a super believer, we would constantly feel deficient and inadequate no matter how hard we tried, which would make us exhausted and miserable. Moreover, if the blameless person referred to a perfectionist, we would continually, severely rebuke ourselves, and in the same way, we would constantly monitor, crack down, and criticize those around us. God by no means wants us to become a super believer or a perfectionist. The type of people that Jesus found most off-putting while he was on earth were those like the Pharisees. The best way to explain what the Bible means by the blameless person is to examine the process in which an adopted child becomes a perfect child. The truth is that we were the children of Satan in our total depravity, but then afterward became God's children through adoption. For this reason, the theologian J.I. Packer says, "Our understanding of Christianity cannot be better than our grasp of adoption. Adoption is the highest privilege of the gospel. When someone is adopted, one immediately becomes the legal child of their adoptive parents. But one does not become a perfect child merely through their legal status. Accepting the love of one's adoptive parents, being vulnerable with them about one's flaws and shortcomings, becoming more like them in general, and ultimately following their lifestyle does not happen automatically for a child. And for these things to happen in our lives, the most important thing for us, who are like adopted children, is not strive to be blameless, but to accept the perfect love of the God who has become our adoptive parent. This is because there is no fear in God's love, and only his perfect love drives out fear. A person who truly understands the extent of God's love will have no choice but to become a perfect child. See what great love the Father has lavished on us, that we should be called children of God, and that is what we are. Dear friends, now we are children of God, and what we will be has not yet been made known. But we know that when Christ appears, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. 1 John 3, 1-2. We do not need to prove our value through achievement. Rather, we have value because we receive God's love. We also do not have to work like a slave to confirm that we have the right to be God's children. All we need to do is delight in the reality that we have been adopted of beloved children by a good God. And as we do this, we will find ourselves moving toward being a blameless person and a perfect child who loves God in a healthy way and who naturally desires to serve others. Colossians 1:28. He is the one we proclaim, admonishing and teaching everyone with all wisdom, so that we may present everyone fully mature in Christ.